Who are the Cielcin, the Watchers? What do they want from the Solan Empire? If anything, have they ever come into conflict with them? Friends, let's find out, and welcome to another Sun Eater lore video. General spoiler warning for the series to date from here. So let's start with the Quiet, perhaps the most intriguing race to me in Christopher Ruocchio's universe. They are an ancient race. The remains of their structures can be found around the galaxy. They are known as the Utanesh to the Cielcin, who humanity is at war with. The twist with them is they exist in the future and experience time in reverse, so those ruins that are spread across the galaxy are slowly being built over what is already there as time moves backwards. So they will eventually be restored in our past. But from the perspective of the Quiet, that is their future. So when humans study these buildings, they make little sense to them. It's hard for them to understand what they find there. But the future from humanity's perspective is linked to the Quiet. The question is, can humanity defeat the Cielcin? The Quiet aid humans to reach this goal. And they can do this as they experience humanity's life in reverse. And so they can make changes to those chosen to them. And perhaps this better aids the Quiet's past. And when you speak with the Quiet, time moves differently, perhaps due to their alien nature. They appear to humans in the examples we have as someone they know, but with bright green eyes. They have the ability to send their minds across great swaths of the past and to different points in time and space. We know from in-book evidence that there is an egg attached to a cradle, and that this is linked to the birth of the Quiet. And another character says the material universe was somehow made by them. The Cielcin dubbed them the liar in their faith. They believe the Quiet made the universe to inflict both pain and suffering and supplant the true gods that these Cielcin believe in. Those true gods go by the name of the Watchers. They are another set of ancient beings. Their bodies are so large their bones can be used as massive temples, and each of them seems to be different, taking on the shapes such as serpents and other giant creatures. Though we are told they are now dead, they can still influence by giving visions such as to the Cielcin prophet. The Cielcin also teach, though the Watchers are dead, if the Cielcin could ever find a living one, the Watcher would be near impossible to stop. And the Cielcin also believed the Watchers were immortal spirits trapped in the crude matter of the real universe by the Quiet. Mudanar, the Dreamer, is the greatest god in the Cielcin pantheon. Its skull, I should say, are used as a temple. And from the bones left, we see that it had hundreds of arms. I'm picturing some crazy, massive, Lovecraftian type monster. Perhaps something that we see in a comic book series called Monstrous, if you're familiar with that. Now I want to turn to a third group called the Enar. These were the first servants of the Watchers before the Cielcin, and under their influence the Enar warred against the universe, then went extinct at the pinnacle of their power. Some of their technology was scavenged by the Cielcin. They had tried to fight the Quiet from existing by wiping out all life in the universe. They had planetary sterilization technology to help with this. In appearance, the Enar had 4 to 6 legs with a crab-like appearance. According to one account, when they saw they had failed to unmake the universe and stop the Quiet, a task I assume given to them by the Watchers, they were driven to end their lives. For background for the universe, the reason they are so alien a species in the galaxy, at the point where humanity has grown the Solan Empire, yet humanity has actually encountered very few alien races. This is the Enar's legacy. They wiped out many of them, and this opened the doors for humanity to spread through the galaxy without meeting advanced races. And on that note, and this short but informative video, I will just turn to a few quotes from the book to actually give you an idea of certain bits of lore. We'll be quoting from the book Ashes of Man by Christopher Ruocchio. These all relate to the Quiet. Or if the Quiet are gods, but you believe that he, whatever, created the universe? You said yourself the Quiet come from the future, that it's born at the end of time. How can it create the universe if the universe created it? Without beginning, I muttered, or end. Sounds like a god to me. On how the Quiet comprehend the universe. Something in the nature of its biology. its programming, allows it to perceive time as you and I perceive this room. That day I told you how it had peered into the future and found the quiet peering back, how it held and told me the quiet had interfered with human history, since at least the time of the God Emperor, how it believed, how I believed, that the quiet was a race situated at the end of time. Now just for context, the God Emperor was, I believe, the first emperor of the Solan Empire. We're talking way back in the Empire's history. On the origins of the Quiet's name, do you know where that name comes from, the Quiet? Because no one can read the markings in the ruins, I said, because there are no artifacts beyond the ruins themselves. Just so. Now, are the Quiet many number or singular? The Quiet isn't a people, or if he is, I know but one. I raise one finger, let it fall. He is a person, an intelligence, a will. It is one voice that speaks to me, radiance, one voice, and his time is coming, not past, that much is true. On how many ancient races exist, and how they are tied to the Quiet. The Magi of that time, there were no scholiasts, not yet, began to theorize that we were early, the oldest children of the galaxy. It was thousands of years before they were proven wrong. As we got out into the universe, we started finding ruins all across imperial space. The wise convinced themselves they were all the remnants of a single civilization, the Quiet ones, later just the Quiet. Not because they left only buildings, but because they left no signals, no radio filling the void as our own ancient transmissions do. This was before the quantum telegraph, you understand, before the datanet. It took centuries to gather all their findings together, far longer than it took for the stories to propagate through the starports and space lanes. Do you know what they found when they finally did? There was no single ancient civilization. The Quiet ones did not exist. Their hypothesis was wrong. The people or the person, if you are right, were built. Who built the ruins of Namesh and Judica, and the rest were but one of 3, possibly 4 great ancient civilizations that have left ruins across our stars. We've known this for thousands of years. And that last intriguing quote, of which I hope we'll get more later in the series, I'll wrap up today's video. So let me know what you think of the lore for these races. What other examples from science fiction history do they match up with? One for me would be the Goa'uld from Stargate SG-1, who are very much like the Cielcin in that they pick up technology from races before them and then use that technology like it is their own, but they never say that the previous races are part of their legacy. Now this is going to be last lore video on this subject for now. I certainly hope if there's an interest in the ones I've put out, and if there is more great lore in the later books, I will do some more videos on them. This whole series has basically been me trying to help promote these great science fiction books that I really enjoy. I just thought doing a lore video. I don't do reviews on this channel. I do put opinions in here and there, and I did a Dune movie review since it really relates to the subjects we cover here, but I don't want to make this a book review channel. It's not in the title, is it? And it's not in why people subscribe here. But I wanted to create some lore videos from these books that I love a lot, just to try and help promote them in my own way. And anyway, on that rambling outro, we will wrap up today's video. Good night.